Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Overwatch Atlantic Showdown, the final game of the night. It is the round of 16, and I am back. And I'm joining Mitch for this final game. Last one was pretty quick.
Yeah, very fair. To be fair, it's a shame that we saw the California boys have to bow out at such an early state there, because they put on a bit of a better fight than Zell did.
They would have beat Zell, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, if they'd have got there, they would have beat Zell. It's just how the brackets go sometimes. Now, it's time for us to sell out, because it is Sellout versus Splyce, so we can throw a couple of puns in there and get a bit of sponsor ad. Actually, we've got really no sponsors to go with this, because all we can advertise is go and play Overwatch.
Yes. Play Overwatch, guys. That's all. Play Blizzard games, but mostly Overwatch, ideally. You know, mix it up in your spare time if you're getting sick of ranked, but come back and play Overwatch. Anyway, we are playing Overwatch, or at least we're watching some people play Overwatch League anyway, at this stage. First map for this round, it's a round of 16, and the last round of the evening will be Dorado, which we just saw Splyce have very limited issues with against Zell.
Yeah, and I just want to give a shout out to Twitch chat, because I did see a good couple of comments in there. It's like, where's the older guy? Where's that old guy gone? Yeah. So I was like, thanks for the compliments,
nice
guys.
To know it's also nice to know you're missed. You know,
yeah, nice to know that I missed. The older guy is missed. It's good. It's good. It's like these years that I've been commentating for, 15 years across esports, across many games. I'm just
they're paying off because people are asking for you, but you are old. It's kind of the
just
way
the older guy. But hey, I could be an up-and-comer, but you know what?
Red Bull Esports aren't writing about you, mate. Sorry, not happening. God, no, tilt. Let's avoid the tilt. Let's get these guys ready to go.
I've told them we're ready, but one of them's peeing, so we've got to wait, man. One of the Splyce guys.
Ask them who it is. They got to sell out. If there is a can user, we need a name and shame here.
We are waiting for other players. Yeah, Pure's the one that said one is peeing, so it's one of the Splyce guys. He hasn't actually said.
Name and shame. That's the way it goes.
Name the
peer.
Urinator.
That works as well. We have the name and shame. Yeah, so obviously, if you've missed the last 17 times we've said it, Splyce win now. They go through to tomorrow. They only actually have to play another best of 5 to get through as well. It's the same bracket that's being continuated, and I guess while we've got they're ready. Okay. Well, I was going to say while we have a second, we can show the brackets, but we can maybe show them tomorrow and give you an idea of how it's going. Clockwork.
It was clockwork, yeah.
If he peed like clockwork, he wouldn't be during the game, would it? He'd actually be able to time it, but that's okay.
Maybe he's got to get himself ready for his McCree. He's got to channel the inner McCree.
He's made a mistake. He's emptied his bladder before an important game. It's just you shouldn't do it.
See, do you find you play better when you gotta go? You get the old shaking leg.
No, I did exams better at uni when I had to go. But
I got to pee first. I'm getting old after all.
Got bladder control.
I got bladder control issues.
Sphincter control not great either. To be fair, hearing you on the office, mate. But let's not waste too much time.
Let's talk about Dorado instead of my bladder. Let's get the game underway, ladies and gentlemen. So here we are back in Dorado. The funky tunes are going. Let's see if we see anything different. We obviously actually had a good little chat with Lerma after that game as well from California boys. Their team was 2 days old. 2 days old. So they did pretty damn good considering they came up against Splyce and almost finished both the maps. They got through this section in 1 minute 5 seconds, something Zell couldn't even do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Zell were complete. I don't even really know. I think Zell's attack looked either uninformed as to what teams are doing right now or just uninspired, really. It didn't seem like they brought any pizzazz. They just tried to go straight through the underpass and just try and go head-to-head and try and grind through. It just doesn't work against a team who's set up well.
Maybe that's how you do it in Canada.
What? Just grind?
Just grind it. Grind your way through. It's when you're in the ice and the snow, you gotta just get down and do it. But let's talk about the game. Pure on the Zenyatta. Shrugger's going to be on once again on the Reaper. Kozen's been on Lucio all night. Do you think he plays anything else? I bet he plays something different in rank, that's for damn sure.
Bet he's a sick McCree or something like that, just waiting for his chance.
That's what gets me, right? Nevix obviously is at, 88 rank now. Or I think he's down to 86. I think he dropped down. He lost the game. But you look at his actual ranked, I think he's played 100+ Genji games. Yeah, he plays a Mercy.
Yeah. It's the same. Well, look at wins when he played for Rogue. He just played the Lucio. So,
but here we go.
Kind of way it is.
Let's see what we're going to get. They're going to try and hold the high ground. So, game about to get underway. I'm interested to see where this D.Va sticks on. Yes, he will. Missed the time by a split second. But Torzok's going to be playing on the Genji as well. Let's see how this one works out for him.
Okay. I'm paying attention anyway. We'll see what happens here. I like a team that can use a Genji well. Obviously, last game we saw it didn't really work out for Zelda. They tried to put a Genji around the back, and he was sort of well and truly on his own here. So this is Splyce. They obviously move into turtle formation here. ready just to defend against someone coming around from the side. And I think slowly that may be what's actually happening here. Obviously, Torzok can't really inflict much damage from this point. It's just sit at sort of medium to long range and try and land shurikens to build up that next Dragon Blade, or that first one anyway. Shrugger goes for a bit of information, knows he can always get out of trouble there with the Wraith Walk, and does spot the D.Va and the Genji at least up here.
Yeah, Torzok had to get around and save Raxa there. Raxa on the McCree, tried to get the flank on and then immediately got flashbanged, which is why he had to cut across there. He's going to try and get a second peek, and this time around he's going to get the flashbang down himself, and Torzok will get Clockwork down. Now this signals the go sign, but Raxa forced to back away and switch back over to Torzok, who's going for the back line, tries to get on through. Dragon Blade, is he going to catch anyone? No, he missed his dash as well, and Shrugger takes him down.
I think we got booped out of the way as well. That's just the sickest counter to Genji. You don't have to kill him, just boop him out into the open, and then he has to walk at you and try and slash you if he's already used that free dash that he gets when he uses that Dragon Blade in general. Just don't lose your nerve if you're playing a Lucio up against a Genji. Boop him back and you can get to safety.
Yeah, it's simple. And it sounds simple, but it's hard to do when you're panicking. And there's a Dragon Blade Genji dashing towards you.
One of my least favorite sounds in the game, to be honest with you.
Yes, absolutely. It sort of sets panic throughout the team half the time, but you can see how that's affected the game. Look at all the ultis stacked up already on the defensive side. Sickness just going to be able to hold them back. Plus the fact that the payload's here as well, it gives them that open ground in this archway to fire the Graviton Surge directly into it. Well, we're going to see that. I'm going to switch across to Rax and see if he gets anything with that. No, nothing from the Deadeye.
No, it wasn't going to happen. Most of his team was already caught up in the Graviton Surge there as well. Luckily for Sellout, they didn't lose all their players in just that one little combo. But now they're starting to drop like flies. Clockwork, Pure, Kozin all lining up the kill feed and getting themselves kills. Sellout fully wiped through again, and notice those ults now on Splyce. They've got 4 to work with. Shane, the only player to die in that last fight. Now, obviously, it's a longer walk back for him, so Splyce do want to delay Sellouts, you know, them trying to start a fight for an extra 3 to 5 seconds and wait for Shane to actually get there.
Torzok, you can see he's just trying to flank around again. Instead, they're just going to push straight through the middle, try and get on towards the Reaper. He's going to come out of Wraith form in the moment, but he just gets the support of his team, and Clockwork with the Deadeye inside. Not really a standard position for it, but it works nonetheless, and then gets himself another 2 kills at the back of it. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, really nice. Quite aggressive positioning to take, of course, when you're setting up a Deadeye, but it worked like a charm. And there's nothing more you want as a McCree for a Zenyatta to be sat out in front of you like a stun mullet. It's an easy pickup, of course, big hitbox, and not very fast. So Clockwork really was never going to have any problems picking up Chrono Dota there at the end.
Torzok realizing that, wait, I'm not playing a pub stomp. I can't just run out with my Genji. I'm going to get shot straight in the face.
He got sucked into the Graviton Surge.
Yeah, not going to do a great deal there. Herta hasn't really had a chance to get any self-destructs off. He's been desuited so many times. I think they've seen him in the suit last time, but Kozin happy with the sound barrier. They did drop a lot of ultis in that engagement. You can see Pure managed to use the Transcendence, so they did manage to cover it off. But now 20 seconds on the clock. And speaking of clock, Clockwork's got that Deadeye ready and waiting to go. Expect him to see, actually he's just going to get the high ground, so he's going to let them push in. Look at this. They're going to let them think they're going to get the payload, and then he's just going to Deadeye them from the ground, from above.
Yeah,
they're going to have to push. They've got to go now. 10 seconds to touch the payload.
Clockwork just zones them. He just zones them now as well. ADC doesn't actually have a sound barrier as well, so that Deadeye could be seriously nasty. We'll see how this works out. Shield is up. Shrugger's in the back line, gets stunned up as well, able to get away with Wraith Walk, of course. Clockwork did use that Deadeye. I think didn't actually get anything off of it at the time because of the Reinhardt shield being up, but it just doesn't matter. The cleanup crew comes in, and boy, does it ever. That'll be it. Another wipe, another overtime. And Splyce, well, pretty tough to beat right now. They hardly have to get that payload up outside of the underpass. It's going to be a quick second round, I believe.
You know, I'm going to mark it down as a 1-0 already. I'm just going to do it. Just going to get ahead of myself.
I mean, to be fair, Sellout haven't done themselves any favour. They're not going to make Splyce work too hard to get that far. I mean, even if you have a sick defense, most teams, even at the top level, will concede at least that first point.
You just got to reach the statue. I mean, it was not a long distance at all. Yeah. One fight, one win fight, that'll be it. They'd be GG. So they're going to have to really watch their defensive positions, what they're going to do here. I'd be surprised if they even get ulti charges up before they even finish this one off. I don't know. That was a real tough challenge for them. We've all been there, though. I think we've all played matches in competitive games where we just can't get it around there. We just can't seem to figure out what exactly is going wrong for us. And again, when you're against a team of pros, paid professionals to play this game, generally it's going to be a lot harder. So, let's see what they're going to bring to the table. Hetero's going to, once again, bring the Zarya. We're going to see Gengmo again on the Reinhardt. Chronodota's going to be on his Zenyatta like he was before. Raxa, in fact, almost the same across the board. The only difference is Torzok's going to be on Junkrat instead. So they're going to try a couple of nade spam just to slow things down, maybe a couple of traps down. He's creeping. Look at him. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you give your footsteps away or not. They can still see you.
Yeah. So obviously, Sellout got here by beating the XDs after beating Clarity and Team Manco's here as well. So, I mean, they obviously probably haven't been challenged to this degree yet in this cup. And the winner of this game will probably end up taking on Brother tomorrow in one of those best of fives. That'll be an interesting one. Brother have impressed us a lot. Going up against Splyce there as well. Let's hope they have Pup Smurf with them. They're going to need all the force they can muster. But still, they've got to finish this game off now as well. Obviously, only 71.96 meters to reach, and they're already over 10% on the way there as well. So, it's a good start.
Not the Junkrat trying to get some damage down, but you can see Shrugger taking a grenade to the face there. Forced to back away from that one. Let's see how they deal with this. Are they going to go for the flank, or are they just going to try and brute force this? They are going to go for the flank, so they're going to go around the left-hand side. Obviously, we saw the cheeky little default flank, or the fake, if anything, coming out of the California boys. And they kind of done that, but it was not really working when your two tanks don't go with you. But they're just going to go straight for the aggression. Yeah, Clockwork there as well, knocked forward by a remote mine. Actually able to flash the shield down, I think, or maybe Reinhardt dropped it. He did have the Zaya shield on him and maybe was just trying to power it up here. So, couple of kills from Sellout here as well. Clockwork not actually able to get involved in too many of these fights until now, and he does get 2 kills quickly. Takes down ADC and, of course, the opposition McCree of Raxa. That shield there will help, but won't quite do the job there. But still, with that fight sort of lasting as long as it did, Sellout now 3 players that have to walk a long way back, Lee, and this payload's getting mighty close to the checkpoint. They're living in the chaos. I mean, there's no reason to not just keep pushing it. You're going to hear the Junkrat ulti coming around the side, but it doesn't matter because I think they just feel that one-on-one they're actually individually better, so they're just going to instead of grouping up with the team fights, which ordinarily you would see come out of Splyce, they're just saying, you know what, just stick to the payload, keep on pushing. There's going to be a simple Graviton Surge. High Noon going to get deflected back in Raxa's face, and that will be map number 1 in the books as soon as this Transcendence clears off, and there we go. That's going to be Chrono Data going down. So, Dorado in the books for Splyce. What will be the next map of choice? They did it, interestingly enough, inside 1 minute 30 seconds. Yeah, so, I mean, I feel for Raxa at that point there as well. I think he kind of was just done with it all because when Genji's close up, you can see that he's reflecting. When he's far away, it's a bit harder to tell. This is Clockwork's cheeky little Deadeye around the back there as well. It's quite nice. He followed it up, of course, well with the flash and just did the cleanup that he needed to. So Sellout, I mean, that's a big statement being made by Splyce there as well. We take every game seriously to a degree. Obviously, towards the end there, they were more happy to brawl it out. But it's also that Splyce knew that they could play more reckless tactically. It was not like they were in a real hurry. They weren't exactly under the clock. 27 high-energy kills for Sickness, 27 eliminations. So only killed when he got his power up. Okay, what's going to be the next match? Let's see. What do you reckon, Kings Row? I reckon, or are they going to drag it through the torture? Is this a best of 5? Sickness, please. It should be Kings Row. Please. It is going to be Kings Row. Okay. I was going to say, are they going to drag us through a Lijiang Tower? Yeah, it's funny that way, because even if the team is quite outmatched, you can still have longer games on that map in a lot of cases. So this may be quite quick as well. We're not wasting any time in jumping into Kings Row, Lee. And yeah, for Splyce, a full hold here. Less likely. I think nowadays we're seeing like quick map finishes on Kings Row in general here. I think it's a bit more forgiving for the attacking team to actually go and attack and actually take that first point there as well. So it's changed a little bit to what it used to be now and the way it's played out. But again, if Splyce turn up and they really wanted to stomp them, I don't think they're going to have any problems here. And they're going to book themselves a ticket towards tomorrow's best of 5 and probably not break too much of a sweat in doing so. Calling out, we're waiting for Pure, by the way, guys. Someone we've hosted twice, actually, haven't we? I like Pure stream. I enjoy it. Yeah, so we're waiting for him at the moment. You should watch his stream. Maybe he's setting his stream up. I don't know. Maybe he's thinking, well, this game's gonna be done in a minute. I might as well set my stream up, get ready to go. Maybe we'll be moving on to that as well. Maybe we'll do. Obviously, guys, if the Gosu guys are still going at this point, I mean, they don't really need any extra viewers, but we will host them if we finish first. So, or you can just jump over and watch them. Either way, it's the same. Well, I mean, they're doing this as well. What's your choices right now? You got Caseytron. I'm not really seeing any pros in there, I've got to be honest. Cooler's there. Oh, Cooler playing? Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, if you like a little bit of Russian.
Oh, but Fen is streaming as well. He's an Aussie StarCraft player. Anyway, we'll sort that out later, guys, as well. But yeah, if we do finish, do check out the Ghostly stream as well. They should still be going. Of course, it'll be ZP and Hex there holding... Oh, no. It's Solid Jake and ZP, I think, tonight. Holding down the fort. Or is it?
Sorry, Pure's excuse is his sister is locked in a car at the Publix, which is a supermarket. Publix is a supermarket in America.
Is that a thing?
Locked in the car? Do you mean locked out the car? I think he means, surely.
And it's hot in... oh, God.
Did you crack a window at least?
This guy's sister has like 99 problems for real. Oh, God, it's all being aired now.
If you're not ready to lose your family for a video game, then you don't play it seriously enough.
It's 100k on the line, boys.
Oh, dear. Oh, well. Pure...
That is the ultimate sellout from Clockwork, by the way. Pure sister has a lot of problems. Okay. Can't pause an online game, Mum. Sorry, Pure
I can't
sister.
do it. Yeah. Oh, well. Okay.
Just break the window.
We're going to get Xenia. Crack the window. Why? How is she locked in a car? You get locked out of a car, but not locked in it. You just open the doors. They all open from internal.
Unless there's like child lock on there.
No, but that's only the back seats, not the front. That's simple safety.
I don't know.
But anyway, Clockwork's going to be on the McCree, Shrugger on the Reaper, Sickness on the Zaya, Shane's Ghost on the Reinhardt once again, and a bit of damage onto Clockwork there. Took a shot, didn't see what from. It must have been a McCree up high, or a Genji with the shurikens.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Either way, this first push now is off for Sellout, going a little bit slow there. They're not speed boosting in yet. They're sort of just kind of getting up in Splyce's face and sort of standing there and trying to stand and deliver. But it doesn't really work when your McCree can just flash over the Reinhardt shield and do some damage.
Yeah, now
they
go. Got away with that. Got away with that. Clockwork. Got the flashbang reflected on him. But luckily, he didn't get picked off. That could have been a go signal for Sellout there, but they didn't notice it.
The reason why attacking rounds are a little bit easier on this map is because every mistake for defenders is punished so much more on this point. It's a long, long walk back, and if Clockwork there, for example, got caught out and killed, then it'd be pretty annoying for him to have to just get back Shank's pony, as it were, all the way to the point.
That's a good flashbang. They've separated the team as well, more importantly. You can see the Diva's going to try and get the flank around the back. Raxa's managed to find himself one. Shrugger gets taken down, but not before Sickness gets the kill on Raxa. And now Clockwork going to try and flank around here. He's just going to go for the left click. You see the Transcenders coming out. Deadeye is available. Doesn't use it because the shield is holding position.
Oh.
And now he gets the left clicks down. That's going to be Gengmo going down. He finds another. Sickness gets himself the double. And that will be a successful defensive hold. They got the first marker, though.
Yeah, and that's fine, to be fair. We've seen teams that have managed to just sort of consequently come back onto the point and get a third of the time and eventually manage to get it there as well. Clockwork got like a 3-man stun with that flash grenade there as well. It's pretty gross. So in that case as well, when they're all drawn together, it's almost better than a Deadeye. It's going to guarantee that you can probably kill them a lot easier as they are going to be incapacitated. But here comes the Deadeye. A good angle for it as it's hard for Reinhardt to block from here, but again, you're just going to attract a Diva to come up to you, and Clockwork needs to make himself scarce now as well. That Diva will shred him at close range, and now the High Noon coming in from Raxa. Gets himself nothing as Torzok gets himself 2 here, so Clockwork still needs to hold down the fort. Yeah, doesn't take long, does it? Not for this man anyway. Flash on towards Gengmo, backing up now. Transcendence is going to keep him alive, but Clockwork needs to make use of this heal. There aren't many other teammates on this point now, but finally they're going to come back in. Shrugger's there, and so is Sickness laying down the hurt. And it's 1 minute and 42 remaining. Yeah,
not long. And they did, though, as we mentioned, get the next increment. That's what they wanted. So it's totally doable now, especially with Hetra. He's got himself his self-destruct. He can just launch one in there, so that will just force them off the point. And even just the fact that they can get 6 men on the point should be able to cap it out in that time. The question is, can they do much off it? Clockwork going to use the High Noon to try and delay them. 120 remaining on the clock, but expect the self-destruct to come launching in any second.
Cancel that awfully quickly there, Clockwork. He was obviously a little bit threatened of someone, maybe a McCree picking him off. The Earthshatter comes in as well. This is going to make it much easier to block that self-destruct. Yeah. And in the meantime, Shrugger gets on towards Gengmo as well. So good start here for Splyce again on this consecutive defense attempt. And now Hetra, problem with this point is that there's like 270 degrees of coverage from all around. It's hard to actually be a Diva with a defensive matrix and keep yourself safe. Soundbarrier comes in from Sellout. Now they're going to keep fighting onto this one. Another Deadeye coming out there, but Clockwork shut down.
Well, Chrono Data, they should be able to cap the points out here. They force them away. Raxa doing the job. Torzok getting himself a couple of kills. Yeah. And the payload has been capped. It took them a long time, though. 320 and counting to get this payload even moving. Now, 330. Still plenty of time on the board to reach that second point.
You may be slightly annoyed at this stage if you're Splyce, but as I sort of said earlier, it's pretty forgiving as an attacking team to actually take that point as well. I mean, it's just a stupidly long walk back. So Splyce now, obviously plan B is to hold them in the streets phase, which gives them a lot more opportunities of ambush and jumping on the enemy team here as well. Also opportunities of enemy teams confusing you or wrapping around with a Genji or a Reaper. So Splyce just need to be aware, watch their periphery here as well, but you can see this is a confident movements forward for them there. They're more than happy standing around that Reinhardt shield. Great stuff by Shane, by the way. Completely shuts down that Earth Shatter.
Yeah, Earth Shatter comes down, instant reply from Sickness. Gets himself that Graviton Surge, and the payload stops. And this is where it becomes a real problem, because, well, they didn't get a kill. They didn't get a kill. They didn't force anyone back. It is a long run from that forge. They have to go all the way back now from the very back point. There's no early spawn point, so I know he's going to come out. Well, Genji, you need to get behind that shield. He realized it. He's like, panic, run!
Yeah, I mean, that's the Deadeye shut down there as well. Clockwork cancels the last second to keep 50% of that charge going. There's a shield, there's a Genji blocking, and of course there's a defense matrix, so a lot of things that are difficult to get through. Shane also fluffs up his Earth Shatter there, but Raxa from the backline able to pick up Shrugger, and Clockwork goes down as well. So that's the damage core of a Splyce now being taken down. And this is a good chance for Sellout. They can make some decent progress here. You can see that Shane was trying to just back off and give some ground, but he just wasn't given enough time to escape.
Not able to get anything with that high noon, but it does force them around the corner. Payload is making its way around. That was so close.
I don't know if he Wraith walked out of that one as well. It's kind of hard to see the Reaper silhouette from so far away, but Raxa had a very cheeky kill. Nice work from this man, showing up a little bit here, but let's see the Graviton Surge come down, and that's just Shrugger's playground there. Gets himself 4.
That was a nice combo. I mean, it's... I don't know whether to call it the Death Surge. I think it's probably the best combo for that one.
Graviton Blossom doesn't
Graviton Blossom is just sounds a little I don't know.
Death Surge sounds like a Megadeth song, something like that. You know what I mean? Like, that would be more appropriate, I feel.
Dave Mustaine ripping the lyrics of the Death Surge.
That's it.
But yeah, that's exactly what they needed, because they were in danger of losing that point. But they still may be. They haven't got any ultis here to try and back up what they got. Deadeye is available from Raxa. He's trying to push around the side. He's going to focus on towards Sickness and Shrugger. They're both going to get picked off. That can work out well. That's what you needed. Just hop up on the payload, and he will, pushing him through. Well, Transcendence is only going to last so long, buddy. The Hello comes out.
That Earth Shatter was fantastic from Shane. No, sorry, from Gengmo. I don't want to give it to the wrong person here. At least 4 people knocked down. I mean, Rax's Deadeye was very much just the icing on the cake there. Perfect positioning from Gengmo, especially after he just tried to charge Shrugger up against the wall. Clockwork gets multiple headshots there from those shurikens. It will kill you, and you're mad now if you're Clockwork. He's had a very quiet couple minutes lead. Yeah, I mean, the fact that I think he must have just peeked around the shield or something, because the shield was up. Or whether he just went for the fire strike and the shurikens happened to be going through. Either way, just poor miss timing for Clockwork to get caught out by that. And look at the payload. It's getting close to finishing here. We've got 2 minutes on the clock. It's 6:22 in total, 6:40, sorry, in total, and pushing. And they may actually complete it. This is a very good performance so far from Sellout. Good Earth Shatter as well. It's going to be covered over to some extent there by the Transcendence, so that's going to allow Sellout to get back up on their feet and keep fighting. Torzok in a good position to do work now with this Dragon Blade, but the sound barrier comes down for Splyce. It's going to make it harder to get the damage across the line. Torzok did more damage there by reflecting orbs back at the enemy team than actually swinging the blade.
Yeah, he got booped away again, didn't he? Kozen just booped him the second he got close, and then it was that classic case of a Genji just like stood there going, can't do anything. Can I walk towards you? No, I can't, because there's a whole hail of bullets coming your way.
I've got to think of something better than Genji out of water for that situation.
This is, honestly, now, with the way that fight went, I think that's it. They're locked out. They've got 1:30 on the clock. They've got 2 attacks at best. One of them is going to be met with a Graviton Surge. The second is going to be Desperation Mode.
Yeah, well, and the second should have a Death Blossom available as well, plus Transcendence, which is pretty ferocious combo as well. So, Clockwork going in for the Deadeye. Plenty of stall time here. Obviously not going to get that kill. Just super hard at this level to actually get decent kills with it. Unless you're playing late night competitive with Lee and his crew, then apparently it's a thing you can do. But again, like you said, the Graviton Surge is ready, Transcendence is ready, all the key ults are ready. Shrugger got picked off there as well. He was off on the side, as you often do, sort of teleport up on that upper little ledge. But I think Splyce can hang on without him for the moment.
Because they've not been able to get in and get anything now, they've actually shortened their time limit down to 1 last attack. Like, that was their attack, and they did nothing with it. They're waiting for their ultis to build up. You can see Gengmo's got that bigger shatter available, but they're going to put up against Shrugger. Shrugger's looking to keep back. He's managed to get away from that other shatter. Transcendence comes out. He's just going to buy his time. Look at his positioning. Comes around the side. Death Blossom comes through. Is he going to be able to get much with it? That's the question. He only got himself one. Raxa got himself a double from that. And you can see round the back there, they're going to get around on Torzok, but the payload is continuing to move.
Yeah, Shrugger going to have to get aggressive here as well. He knows he needs to buy some precious seconds for the rest of his team. That may have been enough there, because Clockwork gets himself onto the fight and still manages to do a bit of work. Notice that Kozen's behind. I don't really know what he wants to be there for. Maybe boop the Reinhardt forward and prevent him from protecting his team. But there it is. The Graviton Surge we talked about, Lee. It comes out of sickness. He's down with it.
Yeah, he's down with the sickness indeed. Oh, well, that's a time not going to be made. So in the end, Sellout, despite having a good middle section, just couldn't finish off. So we're looking at distance. It is going to be 54-72. That's the marker they need to reach for Splyce. They went pretty deep. It's kind of close to finishing. It was just on the back straight, so I'm going to put my stopwatch away. I don't need that anymore.
It's actually not that bad, really, from Sellout. I mean, compared to the way the first map went as well.
Dorado, yeah, they just couldn't even get through the first point. Yeah, it's,
I think it says a little bit about Dorado as map. Remember, that's obviously a pure payload map, and this is a hybrid, so that plays out a little bit differently early as well.
Yeah, it took them 4 goes on that initial point, and as we talked about, you know, obviously with the fact the payload works, it's you get 4 number of bites of the cherry, and they managed to get little nibble. Oh, we finally caught it out there, so it worked out well for them. Let's have a look what they're going to go in defense, though. See if their response is going to be anything different. Doesn't look like it. Looks like they're going to go with pretty much tried and tested. Reinhardt for Gengmo. It's going to be a D.Va coming out for Hetero. Rax is going to be on the McCree. Will be a Lucio for ADC once again. Chrono Data, so double support setup coming out from the Chrono Data on the Zenyatta, and Torzok on the Reaper once again. We are going to see a little bit of differences. Shrugger is going to go onto the Genji instead of the Reaper on the attacking side for Splyce. Pure's going to stick to this Zenyatta once again. We're going to have another Reinhardt, of course. What else would you have on the team? Honestly, it's very, very rare, I would say, you know, of all the team comps we talk about, it's very rare that you don't have a Reinhardt.
Yeah, no, the variation normally comes in the form of like, whether it's a Xayah or a Winston, or even more recently a D.Va. So Sellout go with a D.Va here as well. Shrugger, Hanzo, probably just to see what their team comp is early, I think, if anything. Might just Sonic Arrow on the point and then just change. Just so Splyce, because they know like they want to get this done. They don't really want to mess around. Does Pure play Widowmaker? I don't think so. Maybe just to see if you can get some early damage down and then switch. Yeah. Not terribly uncommon. If you can get an early headshot, remember how far back the walk is for the defensive players? That's so sick for you to sort of base your first push off a quick headshot, but no, not to be today.
Yeah, trying to take them to 5v6. Oof, headshot start from Clockwork. That's on Raxa as well. But the Discord orb forces him to back away. He does manage to get the stun on Torzok, and the left-click kill from Pure will finish him off, and that's going to cause some problems already. Remember, they're looking at not a time, but simply getting the distance. But you know what? The style points doesn't hurt. They did manage to get 2 kills, but Raxa is going to get Shrugger down eventually. Yeah,
Clockwork peeked. Well, he was a bit worried that he peeked too far out of the hotel there as well, as he sort of threw the flash at a strange range and it didn't connect. That was just a safety measure for him anyway, if there was someone around the side. So, quick point taken already. Going to see Splyce push forward. They're going to surge ahead because they know that they still need to get past the streets phase to close this game up here. Still need to get 2 checkpoints and 54.72 meters there. So, still a challenge has been laid for them. But again, that payload will just be piloted probably by Pure and Kozen at this stage, or just a couple of those sort of more utility heroes, while the rest of Splyce sort of push forward here and try and get aggressive. So there it is. Payload's finally captured, and already Splyce is in the middle of the streets phase. They want to deny a lot of this real estate from Sellout, so they can't set up and put up an annoying defense that is forcing you to grind fight after fight.
Nothing worse than trying to dodge in and out. It's all right, I'm behind the shield, and then a fire strike smacks you in the face. 100 health, straight down, instant. That's what Raxa just faced, and sadly they're up against the ulti charges of a number of members. They're going to go aggressive there. Hector jumped up, but he's got desuited. Didn't manage to work out for him. The rest of the team is going to try and come around the side there. Payload's still yet to get here, remember. They're going to go aggressive, gets a flashbang down, but instead he puts a big charge up on Sickness. Sickness has got the Graviton Surge, pops it straight around the corner, and that is going to catch all of Sellout in it. Doesn't really get a great deal of kills from it, though.
Transcendence has popped over that fight for Sellout, so they at least keep themselves alive, but the problem is that after that, Graviton's used, and they're going to get wrecked. I've got to say, that was some sick play in that moment just before from Splyce, and we didn't quite see it because Shane dropped his shield for a brief moment. He was quite low on health. And at that exact moment, Gangmo actually went for the Earth Shatter. But Shane got shielded up from the blow that would have killed him, and then he was able to survive that. Quickly put his shield down before the Earth Shatter ticked through, and he blocked the whole thing. So sick. Sellout now as well are forced to sit back in their own base.
Oh, he got one.
Oh, that's not good. Losing the Zarya at this point could be dire stuff for Sellout here. They're going to try and work their way out from spawn, but they just can't really figure out a way to get on towards this point and contest. Luckily, the payload's still not there yet.
Yeah, it's only just hit the second mark. They're just basically zone camping them in their base, and they just can't get out right now.
Oh,
this is a real problem. And they're finally going to try and push on out. Okay, there we go. The aggression pays off, but Shrugger's peeking around the side there. He's looking at actually causing problems, and I don't think this McCree's too comfortable right now. Trying to deal with him. Raxa having some problems. Shane's Ghost does have that Earth Shatter available, and he manages to dash himself back in there. Now the payload is going to finally get charged out, and Shrugger finds himself in no man's land, but the rest of his team, they're getting kills anyway.
Yeah, then again, Sellout tried to go forward with a sound barrier, and they tried to set up an Earth Shatter, but by the time they did it, Splyce were out of range. They disengaged on purpose. And look at that. They engage back onto the fight, win it soundly, have all the ultimates they need, and there it is. It's a quick finish off there from Splyce. They played that exceptionally well, especially through the Streets phase, and that last fight, the Sellout, they knew Splyce knew Sellout were desperately. They went for a big fight at the end. Splyce just took a big old step back, dodged the Earth Shatter. They were out of range of it, and then they just came in and just pummeled them.
You know what? All credit to the California boys. I think they did well. They've put up the best fight, I think, tonight against Splyce overall, and sadly they came up against them in the round of 32. But overall, Splyce were the ones that went through. They're going to reach the quarterfinals. Of course, the quarterfinals are all happening tomorrow, and that's going to be back to back to back. We're going to be starting off at 9 p.m. Central European Summer Time. That is going to be 3 p.m. Eastern Standard, 12 p.m. Pacific. Myself, Mitch, and Jason will be all there. Fantastic night games, honestly. I actually quite a bit of fun with those first two.
I think we learned quite a lot as well from these games. Like seeing some Annas brought in, seeing the problems with Roadhog. I guess now at the moment seeing a couple different strategies on Dorado, especially obviously what the California boys showed us, a bit of a fake, a bit of a bait and switch strat, and then straight through the underpass here. And we saw Splyce looking in good form, despite obviously Shane sort of subbing in for Papa Smurf here as well, who is working like any normal person is in America at the moment, but obviously not the rest of his team. They get to play video games. But tomorrow they'll want to be back here in full force. The game will be up against Brother, who still haven't qualified, but have definitely shown some strength, I think, in those last matches.
They've been there before. They've reached the round of 8 before, but we'll see. It is all going to be back to back to back, as I say. Round best of 5 as well tomorrow. You guys know where it is. 12 teams have already qualified. The last 4 are going to get there to get for the big regional finals next week. We'll see you tomorrow. Hope to see you there.